Hey everybody, this is Karate 360, your global look at the karate world. I am one of the co-hosts, Richard Mosdell.
And I'm the other host, Kalan Anglos, up close and personal on Facebook Live.
That's right. Let's get into the show. Karate 360, let's get to the show. Takai keri ni wa shibarai. Local kara global e watashi tachi ga muchu ni natte iru mono, sore wa karate.
Sanmo Kumaru. I didn't even know when to come in there, so I'm glad you cued me in. I don't know if you saw, but I was giving the eyes to the camera. I was like, I don't know what he's doing.
And we'll go back to page number 32. It says, let's start the show. You will kick high. I will sweep low. Kara low kara. Takai keri. Takai keri. Takai is high.
I will kick high.
Keri.
You will sweep low.
Yep. Global. From local to global. That's pretty cool, actually. I like that. It used to be this like local to global. There was all kinds of terms that came out last 20 years, like live local, think global, and then there was to globalize something. Go global, localize something.
Take a selfie.
Take a selfie. Yes.
It was National Selfie Day yesterday. Did you know
Was
that?
it National Selfie Day?
There's a National Selfie Day. I mean, there's a National Day for everything.
Someone's trying to make money on something.
Well, of course,
Yes.
but
there was a World Karate Day too.
There was a World Karate Day, June 17th.
That's right.
That's right.
How was it? Well, let's get into that because that's going to come up.
Okay.
How was your week, man?
My week
What's
was
going
good.
on?
My week was busy. I had a good talk with Boxing Canada.
Cool.
And the K-Fit test battery is going to boxing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, pretty pumped up. Pretty pumped up. We had a really good talk.
I get 10%.
You get 10%. And then we're doing basically the exact same thing we did with the karate athletes. They were like on board for all of it. So we're going to do a complete physical demands analysis. We're going to strap the heart rate monitors on.
Wow. When? Where?
The first one is actually going to be in July. We're going to be getting the local athletes here in Victoria. And then they're also sending me to Vancouver in August to get more of the national love. So they have a couple national members.
When in August?
We're kind of working out dates. We just worked out today. I think we're shooting for somewhere in the 20 range, somewhere the 22nd or 23rd or something like that. So
if I'm back from my 1 week trip, I'll go with you.
Okay, sure. Yep. Awesome. That'd be great. Yeah. So it's going to be good. They're all on board, and he's basically saying they have to do this, and this is what's going to happen, and then we're going to use that data to put together fitness tests, and there we go.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I talked to Judo on Monday, so hopefully Judo will also jump on board, but that's the idea. Just get all the combat sports and figure out what it takes to perform in them, what it takes to perform well in them, and then have a fitness test that measures those things.
So amazing.
Yeah, no, so it was really good. It's been a good week.
Be the guy, man.
Be the guy. That's the idea, and I have a secret kind of plan of after all this of putting together maybe a little textbook of how to train and how to assess for all the combat sports. But
I love that idea.
So there we go. Yeah, it's all worked out really good, and that's what my PhD research is going to be on now, just expanding what we've already done out to the other combat sports. So
there's two athletes who've got 9 weeks of training camp right now who might need some help.
There's two athletes.
August 26th is when they actually have to meet each other.
That's true. Yeah. So that's good. How was your week?
My week was fantastic. It's exploding.
Good.
It's always way too many things are happening.
Always.
I have fat boy cake eyes.
Fat boy cake. It's that time of year.
It's like I just there's so many things happening. There's so many cool things going on that I want to do it all.
Yeah.
And so I have to be careful.
Well, a lot of good workshops, a lot of good seminars coming up, even locally for us. But I think it's it's training camp and camp season right now. Like workshops.
So we've got elective events for anybody who wants to come to them. Daniel Gazinski is going to be coming in July.
Canadian national champion, Pan American medalist.
Exactly. We have Rodney Hobson, who's the BC team director, head coach, manager, coming here in 2 weeks.
He is, yeah.
And more stuff.
More stuff, just more.
Just
Kenneth
more.
Lee and Rita No coming as the for the Kata seminar.
That's
just lots of seminars happening all over the place.
Louis
Just awesome. Things happening in the karate world,
it's
lots of training. It's great because we talked about this last week, was sometimes in the summer, karate athletes shut down, karate clubs shut down, it all goes on break, when really it's probably the most important time to train. So
I know, it's crazy. And then today we figured out what candy matches which kata?
That's right. Which candy? You were talking. I was like, "What are you talking about? What candy matches each kata?" That was pretty good.
So do you want to hear them?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Or do you want to pick your own?
You tell me what you already came up with, and I'll say if I agree or disagree.
With Olivia and myself, let's do the big famous ones. Okay, so Basai Dai.
Mm-hmm.
Basai Dai.
Okay.
For her, it was Smarties.
Smarties. And why was it Smarties?
Chop, chop, move, chop, chop,
Okay.
move.
Okay, I can agree with Smarties.
I gave her Smarties. Like,
Yeah.
it's her choice, whatever she wants.
What is it?
But we were exactly the same on the next one.
Which was? What was the kata?
Sien Shin.
Seinshin.
Okay.
Something very
We were
soft, I think.
Licorice.
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 That's soft. Licorice is soft.
Stretch,
Yeah.
pull, cut the
very
licorice.
Very
cut
good.
the licorice if
That's
you can
really
see me
good.
cut with the word life. Okay. I'm going to save Anand for a bit. Nipai Po, she came with an awesome one. Way better than what I would have thought of.
Hold on. Okay.
Nipai Po.
I wonder if I can top it. Nipai Po. What'd she say?
Rockets.
Rockets, like the little candies you get at. Yeah. The ones you get at Halloween all the time.
Yeah, and it's exploding and weird stuff.
Okay.
Chatunyaru Kushanku.
I feel like it'd be something big. Something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, I totally forgot what she said.
Oh, well.
Hang on. No, I can't remember now.
I would think like an ice cream bar, like a wagon wheel, if you know what a wagon wheel is.
You're really close. Yeah, I know what wagon wheels. You're really close. For me, you know what, Anand?
What?
Double chocolate on a wafer.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, because you bite into it and go, this is really cool. Oh, there's substance.
There's substance. There's
like it's good for you.
This.
It's good for you, right?
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but
oh, come on, it's better without the way. But I mean, like you go, this chocolate's awesome. Ooh, there's substance behind it.
Yeah.
So for me, that was like chocolate on a wafer, which is kind of similar to a wagon wheel.
We got to get some candy around here. Man, get it. My mouth is watering.
I know. I started thinking about it, and then for some like wado katas, she had like seisham. For her was like also M&Ms or Skittles. Oh, you know what it was? It was I know. Chatinara kushanku. It's a long kata. It's difficult. It's twisty. Your face gets tight. Jawbreaker.
A jawbreaker.
Jawbreaker. She called it a warhead. That must be a specific brand. She called it a jawbreaker. That was pretty cool, actually.
That's pretty cool.
Because you got to fight it. You got to work it. You got to twist. You got to twist again. You got to twist somewhere else. You got to put your hand behind your head. You got to twist one more time.
All right.
It's kind of like a jawbreaker. I kind of got that.
I would think that maybe that'd be like Super Empe or something. The one that never ends.
Oh, dear God.
Right? Like just keeps going and going. You're sour by the end of it.
I think it's a sour jawbreaker.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? And then she's picked like Chinto for hers, like a strawberry.
Strawberry.
Sharp, quick, nice burst
That's not
taste.
candy, though.
It's not candy. I know it's not fair. But for me, kushanku, which is like 2.5 times as long as a regular kata, nachos. Just munch away.
Munch.
It's all the same, kind of different, kind of change it. That one had jalapeno, that one had cheese.
I like it. I was trying to think about one of my favorite kata when I was coming up was rohai. 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 I feel like it would be something that you just don't want. You know, you don't want it, but
I've always hated that kata.
I know. That's the kind of candy. Like, okay, you eat it, but you know
what it is?
Really
it's like candy you get in a wrapper, and you're like, this is gonna be really cool. But then it's too hard.
Yes.
And waxy.
Yes.
Tastes a little bit metallic.
That is rohai.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Candy 360.
This is breaking stuff on here at Karate 360.
I think it's important.
Breaking down the karate world.
It's important. You have to know what it is. I was listening to, Gary Vee talk about wine today, and this one guy's like doing a wine testing. He goes, it tastes really metallic. And he goes, you must have bit a lot of coins when you were a kid.
Yeah, right. Metallic.
How do you know what metallic is?
No kidding.
Anyway, let's get into it.
So let's just talk a little bit little things going on. First of all, did you see you saw it, so we don't have to discuss it?
Yeah, but we have to tell.
That's right. We have to tell everybody else. Did you see the odds for the Mayweather-McGregor fight? We talked last week.
3,800 or
much more.
It's more realistic. It's more realistic, right?
Not only realistic, but it's
not realistic, but closer.
Not in favor. I mean, McGregor's not in favor to win the fight, but it's a lot closer than I thought.
It's closer than Floyd's last fight.
It's closer than Floyd's last fight, and also it's closer than other odds Mayweather would have against other elite boxers. Like there's a list that had some good boxers on there, and McGregor had a better chance than some of these. So right now it's sitting at about 5.5, 6 to 1. So it's like a minus 600 if you know what a betting line is for Mayweather to win. McGregor something like a 5-1 to upset or whatever. So
I've listened to like 3 or 4 podcasts now, and it's like that left straight's going to catch Mayweather. That left straight's going to catch Mayweather.
I don't know if it's gonna. I would love to see it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Shock the world. But
did you see the painting they put in the gym?
Yes, I did. That was amazing. And then McGregor just taking the picture with it.
Yeah.
So awesome. That's only the beginning of this trash talk.
It's going to go.
I think the best.
That was another 1,000 tickets, right? 1,000 pay-per-views right there.
And that's what I think. There. Like, there's going to be so much hype for this fight that it's going to be impossible to live up to it. But I think the best part of this fight is going to be the build-up. Like, these two are just going to
walk in, the walk-in.
Yeah. And then
it's a show. Like, I've listened to boxing writers. I listened to the boxing writer for Sports Illustrated, one for ESPN.
Okay.
And they're kind of getting over like this crap sort of feeling, and now into, well, it's an event.
Yeah.
This is an event
for sure.
Maybe we should have a show here in the club,
like a live show.
Yeah, like a live show. I know Rodney. Shout out to Rodney. He sometimes what they do with their club is they do like a breakdown, like. They pick all the undercards, and everyone has to bet where everything's going to land, like which round is going to be won, and all that sort of stuff.
I think we should do it.
I think we should do something like that.
That'd be really cool.
Broadcast it in the dojo.
Yeah, and I think it's cool too because not cool, but it's important to think about this, the lead up and all that kind of stuff, because in any sport and in karate, when I was competing, I found the same thing. It was the build up to actually competing that was the hardest part, but also the most nerve wracking, and also the most emotionally challenging, I guess. Once you're in there, you're just on autopilot.
Once they say go, like, you're
just going.
I'm done.
Yeah, that's it, right? Yep. And I think that's why that after those type of events too, it's always like a refreshing feeling. Whether you win or lose in a karate tournament or whatever, it's euphoric. You're I'm done. It's over. And that was always kind of one of my favorite parts of competing. It wasn't so much. I mean, I like the training and the preparing, but it was the moment after. We're like, I'm done. That's over. We can get ready for the next thing, type thing. So.
It's going to be good. I think every karate person should watch it because they're going to be fast.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. And the whole world's going to be watching. So everybody else should be too.
McGregor's boxing coach says he's going to win.
Well, of
just
course.
Flat out
well, of course
he's going to win.
Doesn't say how or when. He's just going to win.
Win.
What's he going to say? He's going to lose. All right. Well, let's dive into a little bit of karate global news.
All right.
So it was World Karate Day, like we said, June 17th. It was the International World Karate Day, I should say.
International Seikai Karate Hi.
Okay. There it is. So we'll put this link onto our Facebook page and onto everything else, aroundtherings.com. They had a good little article on there about the massive World Karate Day showcase of the karate's global impact. So just a bunch of different stuff from Munich to Germany, Japan, all the different kind of stuff going on there. People celebrating World Karate Day. Of course, we had the Canada Open before that. That was kind of like Canada's World Karate Day.
Canada's National Karate Day.
Okay, whatever, international. It was a karate day. But it's cool to see these pictures of what everybody else was doing around the world as well. Like looking at Slovakia, they put a bunch of karate athletes, it looks like with helmets on or something. They made the Olympic rings there. I'm not sure how they got their heads different colors, but there's that there. I mean, just all kinds of people coming together for one thing. It's really cool to see in the sport, for sure, and especially as we lead up to the Olympics.
It is really cool. I think those are just headbands.
I think they probably just dyed their hair.
Okay. They dyed their hair. In Slovakia, they dyed their hair, and and that's the different colors for the Olympic rings.
For the Olympic rings, yeah. It's really cool. Really cool. Really cool idea.
We didn't get mentioned on there.
I know. I was thinking that. Why did we not get mentioned for that?
But I think we need a better picture.
Better picture, maybe?
Yeah. But anyway, it's great that they did it, and we can own it with the Canada Open every year. So
for sure, yeah. I mean, it'll just keep going in. I mean, World Karate Day isn't changing, and neither is the Canada Open. So there we go. Yeah. So just lots of people coming together for that.
Did you watch the broadcast in Munich? There was like an hour and a half, 2 hour broadcast.
Nope.
So you can see it there, and I watched the whole thing. They even had a fight with Araga at the end.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there's lots of different things were happening, so we watched it through. It was interesting.
Speaking of a lot of things happening, the K1 Toledo tournament just happened in Spain, June 18th to 19th. Did you like that transition right there?
It was fantastic.
That's pretty good.
Smooth.
Been working
like
on
butter.
my transitions.
Very good.
So K1 Toledo in Spain, June 18th to 19th. One of
results.
we have the results. We do have the results. It was one of the premier events in Series A. So let's go over it. Let's go over some of the results again. What we'll do is we'll break down the division and the gold medalists, so the champion in each division.
Let's do the bronze medalists and skip
Just the bronze. Let's just do the
Let's
fourth
just say
place.
everyone was screwed.
You know what? Let's just name every single athlete that's on the list.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, go get a coffee.
Yeah, come back in maybe half an hour and we might be done.
Okay, let's see if we see any similar names popping up.
All right, let's go. So let's start at the top. You do division, I'll do the name. These are the gold medalists. Go.
Female kata.
Sandra Sanchez from Spain.
Female kumite minus 50.
Sofia Bouderbain from France.
Female kumite minus 55.
Seda Jedra from Algeria.
Female kumite minus 61.
Alexandra Grande from Peru.
Female kumite minus 68.
Johanna Kinnear from Germany.
Female kumite 68 plus.
Ivana Zasteza from Russia.
Female team kata.
It was the Spanish teams, Team Spain, winning the female team kata.
Male kata.
The only one that I recognize the name, and the king of male kata, Damian Quintero from Spain.
He's
Who
got
else?
a nice mustache.
He's got a nice mustache. He's a stylish guy. I don't know if you've seen some of his Instagram posts. He's got some style. He's actually a pretty big thing in Spain.
Pretty big thing.
He's a pretty big deal.
Right on.
Pretty big deal. He's been on some shows. He's been on
Like the sound of that. Keep doing that. Good work.
There we go. Moving on.
Male kumite minus 60.
Matthias Garcia Gomez from Spain.
Gomez Garcia.
Whatever.
Male kumite minus 67.
From Jordan Thomas from England. From Kaizen Central.
Kaizen.
But from England.
That wasn't the world champion, was it? The guy who won?
No.
Okay, because there was a guy from England that won.
There was, yeah. But that was
him. Male kumite minus 75.
Logan Costa from France.
Male kumite minus 84.
Jesse DaCosta from France.
George Tanos just missed it there, eh?
George Tanos got second place, silver medal for George Tanos.
I think I saw him in a picture in a hospital room.
I wonder if he got hit or something, or hurt himself.
Male kumite 84 plus.
Gogita Arcania from Georgia.
Male team kata.
The Spanish team,
Locals.
Spain, locals with no Damian Quintero on the.
It's an individual.
It's
team kata,
individual,
you got to work a team.
That's right. You probably have to all be something from the same club. Anyways, that's it. That's the results from Toledo 2017.
Look at male team kata, who got silver. They're from WKF 1.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's so interesting whether they're a combined team or a refugee team or
Al Yamorak Sporting Club.
Yeah, that's
so
interesting.
Two of them have the same name, so it looks like they were brothers.
Yeah.
Interesting. So maybe just a team that was kind of put together or something like that. Spain won bronze as well in the team kata. So
let's go through. Oh, sorry.
No, that's it. That's all I had to say.
Let's go through and look for some Canadian and American athletes here. So I see that Haya Juma from Canada got bronze in women's.
Oh, Haya, yeah, for minus 61 kilograms.
She got some great training videos where she's just like kicking like crazy.
Haya,
yeah. Cheryl Murphy from the United States, she got bronze in minus 68.
Great,
awesome for her. Looking for other people that I
think
know.
that looks like it from Canada or U.S.
Just checking out if there's other friends of ours that are out there. We're getting.
Well,
to know.
I mean, they're all friends.
Oh, we know everybody.
They're all friends.
Let's call them up.
Let's call him up. Get him on the show.
Well, I do know George Tanos. He's an awesome guy. Did some translating of his stuff. That's great. So that's Toledo Series. And there's some announcements have made, and we'll bring it up in the next show about how they're actually changing the way you qualify for these sort of things.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I saw that.
That's come up. So let's talk about that in the next show. We'll make sure we read it through, digest it properly, and we'll announce it. Because there's some big things. Like you can't just go to some of these tournaments now. You have to actually make sure that you are from your national federation.
Well, that's
like
good.
Some of the tournaments are getting so big that they have to actually block how many people are going. So,
yes, yeah.
Only limits how many people are going. Right on.
All right, well, there it is. That's our, what was that? Our Karate Global News of the week. Let's move on to a little bit of technical, tactical.
Great. So what I want to talk about is everybody loves a story.
Everybody does love a story.
Everybody loves a backstory.
A good story. Sit around, children.
That's right. So instead of telling every single karate story out there.
No, I think we should.
Bunch of guys landed in Okinawa, taught a bunch of people a bunch of stuff,
and that was it.
And
karate was born.
They didn't want to call it Okinawan dancing. They didn't think it was macho enough, so they called it karate. Just to let you know, you're Okinawan dancing like crazy.
There you go.
So gatekeeping, establishing there's a genealogy chart that Karate BC had made, I don't know when, like in the 80s or 90s or something. And I've actually asked some people who are in the know to let me know how this was made, and maybe it was made in Japan. It was translated.
Okay, where'd you find this?
This is on the Karate BC website. Now, this used
okay.
to be a big brown poster that you would get when you joined Karate BC, and you could put it on your wall.
So what we'll do is we'll post this on the Facebook page as well as the post when this comes out. So if you're listening to this Monday morning, go back to the Facebook post and this will have it. But basically for those of you that are watching right now live on Facebook, thanks for tuning in. We're very close in post. But what we're looking at is like a timeline, a genealogy of jiu-jitsu and karate from looks like the 1750s all the way up to pretty much present time, but there's not much there.
What they're doing here is they're putting when people were born.
Yes.
And how they were trained by who they were connected to. So let's go through the most famous style Shotokan.
Sure. Can I guess which one it is?
Sure.
Is it Matsumura? As I was going through this, I was looking at, that one, Funakoshi, right, of course.
So Funakoshi.
Yeah. Because I remember when I was coming up, we used to teach, like Mabuni Sensei was on there, other people. But anyways, let's keep going here.
Okay, which one are you looking at right now? You're looking at the top. Right?
I'm just looking right at the top.
Okay, so you're looking at famous Matsumura Sensei from Shuri Karate, who then taught Itotsu, who was famous for passing on. And then you can see from Itotsu, you have a bunch of different names. And then you see the lineage of like the next person who learned it, the next person. These are famous people who kept the style going. And if you go all the way to the other side, to the right, who were born in the 1930s and 40s, you have like Kobayashi and Higuchi, and if you go down, you see different names. But let's go to the most famous style, which is Shotokan.
Okay.
Right? So there's a guy named Azato.
Oh, Azato, okay.
Then Funakoshi, and then you go across, and then Shimode, and then Funakoshi's son. Then there's Takigawa, Hayashi, Uemura, and then it splits. And even there, they have a connection to Emma Oyama. You know who that is?
Nope.
It's Kyokushin.
Okay.
So you notice that this hasn't been updated because there's other people who have been born and gone on. So what they're saying is if you are on this line, then you're learning in the old martial art way of like this person taught this person, taught this person, and maybe you got a certificate signed by these people. So in our club, it's Wado. So if you slide down a little bit,
yeah, I saw that. I saw the water there.
there's T Nakayama, but then that's Jiu-Jitsu. But if you keep going, you see H Otsuka, who created it. If you go up and over, you see he learned his karate from Funakoshi.
Yes. Then
you slide over, and you see Oshima, Bo, and all these different people. Right, Ediguchi.
Is the Arakawa? Is there any connection?
So T Arakawa is Toru Arakawa. He's the really famous Arakawa who passed away last year.
Any connection to Arakawa Sensei that we know?
No, actually did not. Arakawa is like actually a famous name in Japan.
Okay.
Then you can see Suzuki Sensei. He just passed away a couple years ago.
Yes, yeah.
Otsuka, that's Otsuka-san. All three of those guys passed away within a year of each other, right? And they don't have the most, like, Sakagi Sensei's name is not on there, or some other people.
Where's Shidoryu on this list?
All right, so if you Robukai,
just on this little flow chart here.
Okay, you go down to go down over.
Just read it to me. Or just
all right,
read it to me on there.
Just look at mine.
Yep.
So find the one that says like 1655.
I'm with you. Shidoryu right there.
Yeah, so there's Mabuni Sensei. There you go.
That's right. I'm familiar with that.
Now, just look across and it just goes bling, splits into like 1, 2, 3 major splits. And remember, this was made back in like the 80s. But there was like, you can see Hayashi Sensei's name is in there. Seiwada Sensei's name is in there. There's quite a few different Mabuni names.
So, yeah, lots of Mabunis. When I was coming up too, we had Sensei Suzuki was our grandmaster.
Ah, yes.
But he's not. It doesn't look like attached even to Shidoryu.
Well, again, he went like this is when people are born. If you look, nobody here on this list is born before or after 1940.
Yeah,
so I think Suzuki Sensei, who you're talking about, who I actually translated seminars for him in Vancouver.
Yes, of course, he was not born in the 1800s.
Right. So he would be like probably born between. I'm guessing he's born between 1940 and 1950.
So this is an outdated list.
This is an outdated list.
But it's a list on the list.
Exactly. And so you can go through here and see different types of stuff.
No, it's really cool.
Goju-ryu, Shorin-ryu, that sort of thing. Now, here's the thing for me. Yes, it's really important that you learn. Like, karate is a craft. And you got to learn it properly from the right person.
For sure.
And somebody who was trained themselves. But just because you learned it from that person doesn't mean you personally learned it correctly. It's like me going to Harvard, studying from a famous professor, but I was the crappiest student in the class, right? And that's where the certificates became important in passing your Dan ranks. But if you were to compare karate to like carpentry.
Karate to carpentry.
Right? A skill that you have to think through, something you have to do, karate to dance, or karate to gymnastics, or karate to swimming, or karate to scuba diving, or learning first aid. It's a craft. You have to learn it correctly. There are different ways of doing that craft.
You have to practice it.
You have to practice it. You have to make sure. People say there's good karate, bad karate. There's definitely karate that's performed better.
Yes.
And it's understood better. I really liked how Reza Sensei used to use this thing, like, when you're really good at karate, you have a tool belt like a carpenter. So you have all these tools wrapped around you, and you know how to use them well. And each tool is in good condition.
Yeah.
Right? And then with each one, you can create something that somebody else wouldn't even look at and be able to create. So it's definitely a craft that you learn, and you have to learn well. At the same time, just to say you learned it from somebody doesn't mean you maybe learned it correctly.
Sure. Yeah,
so,
But at the same time, what do you call the worst black belt in the club?
Oh, what's that?
Sensei.
Oh,
I stole that from the old doctor thing. They used to say, what do you call the person who got the worst marks in doctor school? Doctor. Doctor. Medical school. You still call him doctor.
Interesting.
Right? So once you get your black belt, they still call you sensei. But I see what you're saying. Like, it doesn't matter which one of these you really came from. It's just understanding the process and that you're doing actual proper technique.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Now, if you say I'm doing good Shito-ryu and you're following the way that Shito was designed, you have to be somewhere on this chart.
Yeah, of course.
Right? You can't be too far split from it. But this chart is out of date. It's not, and it's a bit of a gatekeeper chart. Like, if you're trying to fit yourself into it somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
The other thing is, if you were to ask all the main characters on this chart, do they agree that somebody else should be on it? You may get a big no.
You might.
You may get a big fat
You would
no.
have to go back 100 years to be able to speak to them.
Yeah, but even let's say everybody that was born right on this chart between 1930 and 1940, a lot of these people are still around, right? Barely, but they're
Barely,
here.
Yeah.
And it's important that you train with them and get to know who they are, because but would they all agree that the other person on the other side of the chart is actually doing good karate? Again, it's a gatekeeper thing.
Yeah.
When things split, and you can see a lot of splits.
Yes.
A lot of times they vary. The group that splits varies the way they perform it, because then their students get used to that.
Right.
Actually, I had someone call us yesterday, and the guy said, check this out. He's in his late 40s. He did Goju in university 25 years ago. He remembers it so well, but life, kids, being married,
Sure.
around career.
Yeah.
But he wants to get back. So he moved to our city, and he wants to get back to doing the Goju exactly the way he did it in university on the other side of the country.
40 years ago.
25 years ago.
Same thing.
When
you're not even 30 years old, it's all the same.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's all the same.
And how dare you? I just said, first, you're not going to first in our city, you're not going to find exactly what you did in university.
No.
What they were doing in university, maybe not even whatever, mainline.
Yeah.
Who knows? So you just got to find somewhere that you think it's really fun and interesting, exciting to do.
Totally.
Right? And then you're going to learn something and start from scratch. Like, don't think you're going to go back to being a brown belt like you were a long time ago. So anyway, have a look. This is kind of interesting. Where does your karate fall in the big line? So the reason I wanted to bring this up, here's my main meta thing. I want to start bringing up a story about where karate came from. I'm not a geeky karate historian, because it really doesn't interest me that much. I'm more about, I really like this style because I really like how karate is presented with it. I want to understand that, and I want to talk about those stories. That's what I'm going to bring up.
Great.
That's my thing.
There it is.
I'm going to translate some stuff from Japanese for you guys and bring up some really cool stories.
Yeah, super exciting.
Not like this guy met this guy in an alleyway in the park, in
And
Okinawa.
they face off.
They had a fight to the death, and they stared each other down for like 5 hours. And finally, he threw a punch. He blocked it, and they're like, "Wow, it's amazing." They went and had drinks.
That's
It's not gonna be those. I'm gonna bring some other stuff.
all right. We can't wait. It's gonna be good.
Right on, man.
All right, let's move into a little bit of karate fitness training tip. All right, this isn't so much
I didn't
of
say anything.
a.
I was quiet the whole time.
I know. I was waiting for it. I was just going to keep going. I was just going to cut you off and just not even listen to you. Karate tip. So this isn't even so much a training tip. It is a training tip, but it's more so also to help you perform in a competition or in a belt test or for training.
Mm-hmm.
But it's real simply 2 muscles
Mm-hmm.
to activate and 2 muscles to release before training or competition.
Cool.
That will help your performance. So when we talk about activating a muscle, we talk about pre-activating them, getting the
Mm-hmm.
muscles firing so that when we actually ask them to do maximal exercise in the competition or a belt test, that they're actually able to do that at their best potential. And then when we talk about releasing, we talk about stretching them out and making them not activate.
Okay.
So the 2 muscles that should always be activated before any sport, before any competition, but karate especially because there's a lot of explosive movements, is your glutes.
Mhm,
So your
mhm.
glute muscles, so glute bridges.
Activate inactive glutes.
Active
Yes.
glutes. You need those active glutes.
Yeah.
They gotta be fired up. And as well as your core muscles. So not just your core muscles in the front, but your serratus is on the side, so
Okay.
your obliques, so those twisting motions,
Yes.
those should be fired up before too, because they're not going to fire properly or to their maximum potential unless they're pre-activated.
Makes
So
sense.
pre-activate those 2, your glutes and your obliques.
Okay.
Okay. Release, so 2 muscles to kind of stretch out and make sure that they're not activated and not tight. Your hip flexors, so in the front of your hips, you want to make sure you do that. Doing deep lunges, pushing the hips forward, doing reverse leg swings where you're swinging your leg backwards
Yep.
opposed to forwards, trying to loosen up those hip flexors, as well as your calves as well. You should
Totally.
make sure your calves are stretched out and released.
There's people walking around right now with torn calves.
Oh,
all around.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Achilles heel really is the Achilles heel
heel.
for many people. I mean, if you don't keep your calves nice and stretched out, your Achilles heel can rupture. So there it is. The 2 muscles to activate, your glutes and your core, including your
It's
obliques.
the best way to get your 2 muscles warmed up beforehand.
Well, glute bridges is a great way to do it. I think
Okay.
glute bridges are something that should always be done before to get those glutes fired up. But then again, we've talked before about those medicine ball throws where you're
Yeah.
twisting against the wall, any kind of twisting motion to get those fired up. Should also use resistance before too, so it shouldn't just be body weight. Glute bridges are a little bit different because the angle makes it tough. But for any of those twisting exercises, add some kind of resistance, like a medicine ball or like a weighted vest or just something, a mace or something like that, to make it even harder so that your
Cool.
muscles are firing at full potential.
I like that.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
a lot of elite training and elite coaching. They do get their athletes to pre-activate their muscles. It's just becoming very common right now. There's a lot of coaches getting their athletes active. Before it was make sure you're sitting and stretching and making sure your muscle. That's not actually conducive to good performance or at least optimal performance. We want to get the muscles activated. Actually,
See, we
more
only
so.
do that in our warm-up very minimally.
Sure, and actually,
Right.
it's not. It does actually still improve performance. I
Yeah.
shouldn't say it doesn't. Static stretching will improve performance, and we've talked about it before, where it just kind of gets you in that karate zone.
Yeah,
it gets
exactly.
You in the thing, and that's all good. It does still improve performance, but the research has shown that the best training improvement or the best
Totally.
performance improvements come from
Totally.
activating your muscles and that kind of stuff. So
Are you going to change the stretching flexibility test to a kick?
yes, we are.
Can't
We are in the
wait.
process of doing that too. We're going to do
So
something
cool.
similar with how we did with the 300-meter shuttle, where we're going to actually run an actual study. So we're going to make it legit, compare it to the other types
That's
of
so
stretching.
cool.
Yeah, a dynamic stretching thing. I think we're going to still use the high kick, like the vertical bar.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
those with the vertical jump?
Yep.
Same thing. We're going to measure how long your leg is. This is what we got so far, at least. Measure how long your leg is. Put the veins,
Yeah.
the things that you hit that high, and then see how many. You
I
can
love
kick
that idea.
above that, because it's got to be somehow relative to your body.
Does it matter how much they can get any swinging momentum up?
Yeah, there's going to have to be some kind of restrictions on that. It want to mimic performance at the same time, right? Because that's what we're looking at.
Like, do you let them load their knee statically and then release from the lower leg?
Yeah, so I mean,
Or do you let them swing it right off the floor and then their heel comes off the floor?
yeah, the way I was thinking about doing it is doing 4 different kicks, like a lead left, a reverse right, and then a lead right and a reverse left. So on each side, basically doing your lead and your reverse,
Yeah.
and then kind of seeing the differences basically between those.
Cool.
Yeah, so we got lots of stuff coming in that. regards as well.
Awesome.
So there it is. That's the karate fitness training tip of the week. All right. That pretty much just about wraps us up. Upcoming events, there's not a lot coming up, really. The karate, we talked about a lot of seminars coming up, but not a lot of tournaments coming up. The whole WKF world kind of shuts down for a little bit.
I think style events are happening now.
Style events,
for example, the International Goju Kai's World Championships will be coming to Vancouver end of September.
Very nice.
So that's coming here. That's like 5 days of intense competition.
Awesome.
It's really, really
That's
big.
Going to be great. And then don't forget we have the World Games too, July 25th and 26th. That's probably the next big one.
That's a huge deal.
One. So the end of
and
July.
Isn't there a training camp this weekend somewhere, like in Croatia or something like that? Youth training camp or
potentially.
I think there's something like that going on.
Okay. And then also in August, the only thing in August is the PKF Junior Cadet and U21 Championships in Argentina.
Ooh.
So that'll be good too to keep an eye on that. That's August 24th to 26th.
Cool.
And then September we're off and flying again.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
All right, everybody.
All right, there
Thanks
it is.
for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Karate 360 podcast. You notice we're up close and personal. We're changing things up. You never know what we're going to bring you on a week-to-week basis.
Absolutely.
But we do these Thursday nights live here in the studio.
We should do something like this. If you do the boxing testing thing in Vancouver, we should broadcast from there or something like that.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea
That'd be
at all.
cool,
Yeah, that
right?
would be really cool.
Have the guys working out in the back.
Yeah, in the boxing.
Love
club.
it.
Love it. All kinds of stuff coming from
Right
Karate
on.
360. I'm Kalan Anglos.
I'm Richard Mosdell.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll talk to you next week.